Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show with your hosts Lee Silber and Ellen Goodwin.
Welcome to the Faster, Easier, Better show. I'm your co-host, Ellen Goodwin, along with my co-host.
Help! I need somebody. I need a singing lesson.
That would be Lee.
I need a coach, a voice coach.
We are going to talk about asking for help today because all of us need help in one way or another. I mean, it could be like formal help, getting a coach or somebody teaching you to sing.
Clearly.
It could be informal help, like being held accountable by a friend. So we're going to talk about reaching out and getting help. Because
even more than that, accepting it when it's offered.
Good point. Good point.
That's my problem.
You can't accept help.
No, I'm a one-man show. I got a
How's
bass
that working?
drum,
How's that
a
working?
bass guitar, and my voice. And I just go around and play. I don't need any other bandmates. I'm just kidding.
No. So last week, I thought of this because last week a friend of mine reached out and she's just having a really hard time. Like, she's like, I need a little summer reset. And when we got on the phone, so, she asked, can we talk for half an hour? I'm like, yep, get on the phone. And we start talking and it turns out she's got some medical things that she's afraid of and they're coloring everything. And she was confident enough to reach out and ask for help. And we walked through things and talked them through and kind of set up a plan that made her feel better. But she felt good enough to reach out for help because she knew without help, she was not getting any further down the road. And it was super easy, half an hour, there it was. So reaching out for help when we're not feeling great, that's an awesome thing to do.
Well, for me, and that's good. Good that I'm glad that you were there for her. And that's true that sometimes we just need to talk it out with someone we can trust. That's trust is key. But for me, I'm a handy guy.
I know.
Wayne, super handy. So two things happened recently. One, down at the baseball fields, I maintain everything. And then there's a retired contractor, just likes to just hang around. So we'll fix things together. And so he's helping me, but I'm learning from him. I've learned so many things that I did okay. Now I'm doing them professionally.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, because of him, watching him. And I'm always like, can you show me that again? Until we're done. Okay, I get it now. Thank you for showing me. But then there's the times where I'll look at a project and I'll say, nope, not too much for me. And I'm willing to pick up the phone and ask for help.
Yeah.
Most things, I can do some plumbing, electrical, and all, but there are things that are dangerous or just beyond the scope.
Yes.
Wayne has all the cool tools.
Yes.
And all the knowledge. So, Wayne, what are you doing tomorrow?
My mom calls them toys. But yeah, they're the tools.
So having sometimes, I don't have the right tools. So you call in. Anyway. So
Ask for help.
When people say, hey, need some help with that, I say, nah, I got this. Now I'm like, oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you touched on one of it, like paying for help if you need it. And again, paying for a coach to help you be better on things. We recently redid our front porch, and part of it was the new pickets, and our pickets used to be painted. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to paint them. And then the general consensus of the neighborhood, as you know how like neighborhoods everybody's like, they'd look better if they were stained. And I'm like, how hard could that be? I didn't know it was super hard. And
should have called me or Wayne.
No, we have a friend that like does this stuff, and she randomly walked by, and I'm like, hey, we're going to stain it. And she's like, well, you do this. And I'm like, you do what? And she's like, yeah, you put it on and wipe it off. And I'm like, I didn't know that. And then she's like, and then you don't make sure the rags don't get in a pile because they'll start on fire. And I'm like, what the? And then she's like, yeah, you got to do 3 coats of varnish. And I'm like, And so I'm like, hey, are you busy? Because I need help and I will pay you to help me do this. And by helping me do this, I mean, you can do it on your own and I will give you money.
Yeah.
That was the help I needed. It looks great. And she did it right.
Hey, and I'm all for paying a professional for doing a professional job, but there are times where you can trade. You know what you hate to do, I love doing, and vice versa. Let's trade.
Exactly.
I've done that many times. And we're still talking about efficiency, meaning
most
what's
definitely.
the best way to get, they always say, oh, you need a 1/4-inch drill. No, I need a 1/4-inch hole. I don't need the drill. I do need the drill.
Well, I'm not sure how you're going to,
But what we're getting at is we want the result.
Oh, most definitely.
And how do I get there better, faster, easier? And sometimes it is without me even being involved.
Exactly. Like my friend that did the front porch. I mean, one of the things we were all excited about is we knew she knew how to do it faster and easier, better than we did. Easier, the better part was the key.
Right, no fire either.
Yeah, exactly. But in the time that it took her to do it, we would have gotten like 6 pickets done.
Yeah.
And she did all 82. So, that was so worth it. It was super efficient.
Yeah, and I mean, the only down thing I can think of is sometimes these tasks that you have to take on, if you enjoy it and it's part of your recreation or part of your, you just like to get away from whatever your regular job is and work with your hands and plant some plant. I get that. And that's fine. Maybe you're not the most efficient at it, but you enjoy it. But there are certain things that you just don't do well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to name which of my kids, but well, I'm like trying to teach them about stuff. I'm like, help me with this. And inevitably he'll turn the thing the wrong way or strip the nut. And he just doesn't have it in him. He doesn't have the gene. Why? Just kidding. But it is what it is. He's great at so many other things.
Yeah.
That's not his jam. And
So,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
So,
and, like I said earlier, you're
give me
reaching
the tool.
reaching out to professionals, a coach that can help you, a therapist. I have a friend that's going through some stuff now. And the best thing I think he's done is reach out to get a therapist, because that's going to not necessarily make it more efficient, but it is going to make it more efficient. Something that could be bothering him for years might just take months to work through.
Well, you said it when, I don't remember when you said it, but you said it, something about health was clouding her entire outlook on life. And, that shouldn't be overstated or underrated how important your outlook is on how well you do your work and how efficiently you do it. And how sometimes your mind isn't, what do they say? My head wasn't in it, or my heart wasn't in it, whatever. Yeah. And then you screw it up and you got to go back and do it again. So I think it's important to get your head right.
So ask for help.
Ask for help. Help! I need somebody. Help!
And we'd like to ask our listeners for a little help.
Pay for Lee on GoFundMe for his music lessons.
Yeah, we could do that. But we'd love you to follow, like, and review, and then be back with us again next week for another episode of the Faster, Easier, Better show.